In the vibrant and lawless streets of 1920s Chicago, where the Prohibition era reigned supreme, a dark figure cast a long, menacing shadow over the city. Al Capone, a name synonymous with power, brutality, and organized crime, had risen through the ranks of the underworld to become the undisputed kingpin of Chicago. In this captivating video, we embark on a thrilling and treacherous journey, peeling back the layers of history to expose the chilling truth behind one of the most infamous events of that era, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Let's get into it.
Chicago's underworld rivalries. Chicago, a city ravaged by Prohibition, became a battleground for control over the illegal liquor trade. Rival factions engaged in a fierce struggle for dominance, each seeking to seize power and fortune in the lawless landscape. On the other side of the divide stood George "Bugs" Moran, a resilient and cunning gang leader who posed a significant challenge to Capone's reign. However, the escalating rivalry between Capone and Moran threatened to plunge Chicago into a state of utter chaos. Their thirst for power and control drove them to engage in brutal confrontations, escalating the violence and bloodshed to unprecedented levels. Innocent lives were caught in the crossfire while the city's authorities struggled to contain the ever-mounting body count. As tensions reached their peak, the stage was set for a showdown that would leave an indelible mark on Chicago's history, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. On that ill-fated day, the bitter rivalry between Capone and Moran would erupt in a wave of gunfire and death, forever altering the city's criminal landscape and shocking the nation. The events that unfolded would expose the dark underbelly of Chicago's underworld, revealing the true extent of the power struggle that gripped the city. In the next chapter of our documentary, we delve into the chilling details of the rise of Al Capone to prominence in the underworld. The rise of Capone. Capone's ascent to power was marked by calculated moves, ruthless tactics, and the unwavering loyalty of his soldiers. With keen business acumen, he seized control of speakeasies, breweries, and distribution networks, amassing immense wealth and power. His operation ran with brutal efficiency, and those who dared to cross him often met a grisly fate. The streets of Chicago became a theater of violence, with gun battles and bombings becoming alarmingly frequent occurrences. What good is knowledge if it remains confined to a few? The power of understanding lies in its ability to reach the masses, to shed light on the hidden corners of the past, and to inspire reflection and change. That's why we ask you to subscribe to our channel and become part of a community dedicated to uncovering the truths that have been veiled for decades.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
By subscribing, you will ensure that you never miss a single riveting episode, each one unveiling new layers of history.
Can't wait!
Day love turned deadly. On that fateful day, February 14, 1929, love was in the air as couples exchanged tokens of affection and promises of forever. Chicago, though plagued by crime and corruption, reveled in the spirit of Valentine's Day, unaware of the darkness lurking beneath the surface. Little did they know that amidst the declarations of love, a sinister plot was unfolding. Al Capone, the notorious crime lord, saw an opportunity to eliminate his rival, Bugs Moran, and solidify his dominion over the city's underworld. Capone's thirst for power knew no bounds, and he was willing to unleash a wave of violence that would forever stain the streets of Chicago. In a nondescript warehouse on North Clark Street, Capone's henchmen patiently awaited Moran and his North Side gang. As the unsuspecting gang members stepped into the trap, gunfire erupted, tearing through the air with a vengeance. The echoes of death reverberated through the city, forever shattering the illusion of safety. When the smoke cleared, 7 lifeless bodies lay strewn across the floor, a grotesque tableau etched into the annals of crime, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The city trembled as news of the massacre spread, exposing the cold-hearted brutality of Capone's empire. A dark web of silence followed that we'd be delving into next. Unraveling the web of silence. The aftermath of the massacre sent shockwaves throughout the nation. The gruesome scene of the crime became the focal point of public outrage, demanding justice and retribution. But as investigators delved into the case, they encountered a wall of silence built upon a culture of fear and loyalty that had been meticulously cultivated by Capone's empire. Witnesses were few, and those who knew the truth dared not speak, for to cross Capone was to invite certain death. The work of the authorities. Nonetheless, law enforcement agencies were determined to bring the perpetrators to justice. A dedicated team of detectives and federal agents tirelessly combed through evidence, interviewed witnesses, and pursued any lead, no matter how faint. Yet, the road to justice was paved with obstacles. The investigation was hampered by the destruction of crucial evidence, witness intimidation, and the complex web of corruption that entangled the city's institutions. The St. Valentine's Day massacre was not merely an isolated incident but a symbolic representation of Capone's reign of terror and the extent to which he would go to eliminate his rivals and solidify his control over the city. We just took a deep dive into the life and crimes of Al Capone. We learned about his rise to power as the head of the Chicago outfit and his eventual downfall after the St. Valentine's Day massacre. But now, let's turn our attention to a different horrific massacre. In our next video, we will take a deep dive into one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history, the Kansas City Massacre, when 7 men were gunned down in cold blood in a downtown Kansas City hotel. The massacre was a major blow to the law enforcement community, and it sent shockwaves through the country. To this day, the identity of the killers remains a mystery. You should check it out for yourself. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in another video.